So you've sat back watching this 𝗬𝗟 absolutely rip. Is the AI narrative coming alive again today, guys? I'm talking about 𝗬𝗟. I've got a couple of other AI plays that I think could give us something, but I do have some secret plays that are lagging at the moment that are not AI related. Maybe it's time to look when no one else is watching. We got so much to talk about here. It's Monday. I'm back from Singapore. Pumped to be back here. Let's get right into this. And remember, hit the bell, hit the like, do your thing. If you like the content, the man is here. The bull goggles stay on. They're basically going to stay on for the entire Q4 of this market, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to leave these on permanently, I think. We have to. We have to. Look at this. Banter Bubbles is absolutely killing it. And Onisir says V-neck. Okay, 𝗚𝗢𝗓 16% up. Thank you so much. 𝗚𝗢𝗓 has finally come alive. Anybody who's been holding that one can breathe a sigh of relief. But look at this, top right. 𝗬𝗟 18.9% up, Render 14% up. That was a banger. We've been calling the spot render buy for the last few weeks. Now this thing is coming alive. And 𝗬𝗡, you know, my little secret. Well, not so secret. I've been telling you guys about this one for ages, but this thing is absolutely cruising at the moment. So let's just look at BTC on the 1 hour here. Let's go full degen immediately, straight out of the gates here, and just see the current situation. Now, I'm quite enjoying this little consolidation that BTC has given us at the moment, because we've noticed that it's given these altcoins a little bit of room to fly. So remember, the game here is a nice bullish BTC, then a little bit of consolidation always allows these alts to start ripping. And the converse is also true after a dump on BTC. If that thing starts consolidating down after a dump, not a Trump, then these alts tend to bleed a little bit more. So now BTC looking bullish. We've still got our beautiful uptrend in play here at the moment, and a nice little bit of consolidation here. This is looking good. Maybe they came and took out some of these highs here. It remains to be seen what the game plan is here. When I saw that wick earlier today, I thought, hang on, geez, we're actually going to go lower here, but they are bouncing us at the moment. So what I would suggest now, what I'm watching right now, and this is pretty much my game plan since last night, we haven't had too much of a change. 61,900. That for me is a nice little hot zone. Any dip into the 61,900 looks like a BTC long attempt there for me. So 61,900, I'm waiting for that one. If we do drop a little bit lower, that tells us we are losing trend. Okay, not the best look, but the next bounce zone then for me is going to be around about the 60K level. And then notable that I was talking about in the Sniper Club earlier today, very notable here, we've got two anchored VWAPs from the September dump and the August dump, as well as the 50-day MA. So this 58 to 59K is a massive Bitcoin level. So remember, if we start falling over into a region like that, you're going to feel max bearish, okay? But remember, this is a hot zone for us. If we do get a bleed out into there, I would say max long in that type of area there, especially if this market is going to stay bullish for now, okay? And then upside, you can see this blue line is my 200-day moving average. We're watching that one. This is our resistance band. And, you know, we pointed this one out last week. It was always going to be an interesting one for us. And we've noted now a lot of these altcoins like Phantom and a lot of these other alts, the 200-day MA is now the new target. Now, we've played the 50-day on a lot of these altcoins. Now we're moving to the next zone, and that is the 200-day MA. So that is now coming into play all over the place. So upside 63,900, that is locked in. And then we do have our highs again, the 65K zone. Now, before we jump into some news, I just want to show you, while we're looking at the 1 hour chart, let's just look at these liquidations. And very hot zone here for me, 64,900 up to about 65,265. So that ties in nicely with a sweep of those highs that I've just shown you. So mark that on your chart. And then to the downside, they have cleaned out a little bit today. You can see they did flush a little bit of the longs out, but I do like the zone. Anything down to 62K, you can see it's quite a big little area here for us. So we've got to watch this one closely there and just tie that in nicely. You can see these levels here, 61.9. It makes sense to me. It's a nice little zone for a potential BTC bounce. Now let's take a look at what is popping in the news. Well, firstly, this isn't quite news related, but I love the music in the background. It's very relaxing in these types of conditions. Ray, let me know if you can hear this. Is this how we're feeling right now? I just fucking love that thing. Come on, let's go. Okay, and then Donald's back. Donald and Kamala are back in the news, and Donald's talking about doing things with crypto here. Let's see what he had to say here.
I'm curious what you think the future of crypto looks like if, God forbid, you don't win the election.
Future of crypto, what does it look like? Well, I think it's a good future. You know, who knows about anything today? I think it's a good future. I tell you what, you look at values, you look at what's happening and where it's come and where it came from. I think crypto's got a great future. I think it really does. Maybe we'll pay off the $35 trillion in crypto.
Anything to win a couple of votes. I mean, do you even think he knows how to operate some of these things? Can you imagine this guy with a MetaMask?
He doesn't know jack shit.
Imagine this guy trying to buy shit coins. Let's see. Okay, and then we've got Kamala. Also, you know, she's doing her thing for the votes. Okay, so she's saying we will partner together to invest in America's competitiveness, to invest in the future. We will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets. Okay, but look what she's saying, while protecting our consumers and investors, kind of hinting, you know, things could tighten up there a little bit if she is in the house and in charge. So just watch out. And then we know, okay, you saw that bull video I've just played you, and what happens in October when September is green. Now this is a great little graph that this guy has put out for us. Look at this. He's basically saying there are only 3 years where we've had green September. 15, 16, 23, and now possibly 24. Okay, we got a few more days left, so we can't get too ahead of ourselves here. But if this finishes green in 100% of the cases, when September was green, October was even better. And by a big margin, look at that, 2 times better ROI every single time. Are you guys ready? That is the question. Are you guys ready for what is coming? Okay, so we got a big show today. We got lots to talk about here. I've got tons of trades open that I'm going to show you guys as well on some of the exchanges. I've got Bitfunded running an Arweave trade for me at the moment, so we're going to take a look at that. We got loads of altcoins here, so stick around. I've got high time frame setups, I've got low time frame setups for the DGens, and everyone's going to be covered today. You're going to be well covered by the end of the show. Okay, so BTC on the daily. Let's take a look. So daily time frame, you know, always good to see the bigger picture. What are we doing here? Big resistance, 65K. That has been resistance before. It's been support before. So no real changes here. This is a huge area for us. Okay, so what do the bulls want to see now out of BTC? If we want to remain bullish, we need a break up here. We want to consolidate, get support around 65, and then we are locking in 68 to 69K. Okay, we're just playing the trend game. We're not going to try to get super bullish here. We're going to go level by level. Remember, if BTC breaks the 65K and consolidates again like it does now, what does it do to these altcoins? Send. Okay, lots of sending. So we just want to move one step at a time. So the bull case is, let's break the 200-day MA, let's break 65, let's find some support there. We'll have breakout trades in that type of region as well that we can be watching. What is the downside situation? Well, the downside case, unfortunately, you can see we've got a lot of green candles here that could easily come and get taken out. So we need to brace ourselves on the daily chart for a move to this 58,900 region. That is on the table. Okay, this is not off the table. We had a dump 6th of August. We had a dump 6th of September. Why wouldn't they dump us? Flush everyone out 6th of October and then send this thing again. So keep that in mind. Okay, we've had 2 months in a row at the beginning of the month. Okay, look out for the flush. Look out for that flush out. If we finish September really strong, look out for a massive flush in this market. And Pierce, I appreciate that, guys. And if you're enjoying the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and remember, the comments are open, especially after the show. Drop the tokens that you want in the comments. Ray looks at them for me, then we'll prep some. And as per usual, we're going to start charting some of the tokens that you want to see. So after the show, drop your comments and what you guys want. And Joyce says, my energy is pushing. We must push these charts up. You know, I must say, these the green days really get me excited. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so before we get into the altcoins, remember there's 21 hours left. If you want to learn about what I do, you want to see all these types of things, your easiest way to do it is for free. Going into the Sniper School. Sheldon's done an entire course here. It's absolutely free. You're going to learn 618s. You're going to learn 382s, horizontals, RSIs, trends, supports, resistance. You're going to learn all the stuff that I do, so you'll understand a lot better. When I'm talking on the show, if you're a little bit confused, you get lost sometimes, do this course. It's free. It's a couple of days work. You get through it, and then you'll have a better understanding as to what's going on. And then once you've done that, you come and join us in Sniper Club. Okay, and we'll sort you guys out. There's so much going on there. So let's talk altcoins. Now, I've got 3 very important charts here that represent these altcoins at the moment. The first one I want to show you guys is dominance. This is a massive chart for us. This is dominance on the daily. So I just want to highlight this level over here is a massive weekly region. Okay, we broke through this weekly region last week with the Fed and all the drama. We had a big pump here on dominance. We've come back, we retested and bounced. Okay, so that was potentially dangerous for some of these altcoins. But look at this now. Okay, these alts are free at the moment, and we are breaking back down through that weekly support band. Okay, so now this is the daily chart, and you can see this is a nice clean push here on the daily. So for me, the next move, as long as we're closing under this region, our next move is going to be back to the 56.8%. What happens after that, it's anyone's guess. Okay, that could lead into, the end of September, a little pump, and then that could lead into max rinsage for us early October. So keep this one on your charts. This is a great one to watch. If we get a daily close here under this weekly support, that is a very good sign. Okay, this means dominance is falling over, and it means these altcoins get to run free and do what they do best, and that's pump. And that is what we're going to see. So watch this dominance very closely. And then this other chart looking good. Now, I've had this one in front of you for 2 or 3 weeks, watching this thing. Always been a little bit of a concern for me. And look, we've broken the weekly trend. We got to close outside the weekly trend. That is super bullish for me. Okay, one more caveat, one more thing that I really want to see. I really want to see the proper structural shift here. I really want to see a new high get printed. You can see we've got a high over here at 226 billion. Okay, I want to see a print here just above this region. Then we can get some kind of bullish pullback, and then we are on. But overall, step 1 is now complete. We had a weekly close outside that trend. We've closed above the 50-day moving average. We've closed we closed below the 100-day MA, but now we are looking to close above that at the moment. So all things looking good. And look at this, the 200-day moving average that I mentioned earlier today is now a target for these altcoins. You've seen it pinged already on things like Phantom. You've seen it pinged on Bitcoin. What's coming next? We've got big targets here on some of these altcoins. Then the next altcoin chart that I want you guys to see, let's not forget, okay, the ETH bonus is back, and it's back hard. And right now, for me, it's the only trade I need on Prime XBT. And ETH versus BTC on the weekly, you can see we've got a strong bounce here at the moment. We're in our 2nd week now of a strong green candle. And for me, looking for something very simple. I just want to see a clean break of the 50-day MA, and I'd like to see a push into this trend region. So that, for me, should unlock a lot of these altcoins. It's naturally going to unlock ETH. I'm looking for anything into that type of region here. Just, typical little play into a trend. We're not trying to get too overly bullish here. We're just looking for a solid bounce here. It's due a bounce. Okay, this thing bled out for weeks. I mean, I can't even count these candles. It could be 20 weeks or something like that from these highs. The last time we had a decent ETH pump. And, it's due some kind of bounce. What happens later remains to be seen. But so far, so good. That looks decent for the altcoins. Here's this ETH position that you guys have been watching on Prime XBT. Finally getting some energy here. And we are about to break the previous highs from, when was that? Oh, this is the 5 minutes. We're about to break the highs from this morning. Okay, not a bad situation. 30, I've got the ton chart for you, and I'm in a scalp ton long at the moment, so I'm going to show you that one as well. But ETH at the moment, Prime XBT, you can see we are sitting at resistance here on the 5 minute. This is degen heaven for some of you guys, so just watch out. We want to print a new high here and then really get this one cooking. But so far so good. No reason to close this. My average entry 2395. Let's take a look at ETH, and let's take a look at a couple of plays here that I think are going to be solid for you guys. So Michael van der Poppe, he says the market is incredibly bullish since the climate has changed. Rate cuts equals interesting behavior for DeFi equals ETH up. Yes, okay. Look at Aave. Look how that thing is absolutely cooking. The bottom for altcoins and ETH BTC is in, according to him. Okay, according to the chart, looks pretty good. Might not be the absolute bottom, but for me, it's a bounce bottom for sure that we are watching. And he says he's heavily invested in DeFi, infrastructure, AI, and ETH. Okay, he's backing ETH. Okay, maybe his ETH bonus is coming back, but look at this thing of beauty here at the moment. So this is ETH, and my target still for this trade that I'm sitting in, 2,800 to 2,900. That is going to be the first big zone of interest there for me, and very interesting things coming here for ETH. Now remember, everybody's been hating ETH. It's been left alone. It's been absolutely abused. And when this thing wakes up, as we know, and we've seen this time and time again, people give up on ETH and it comes back to bite. And right now it's looking good. So 2.8 to 2.9, nice little target for me on ETH. And I just want to remind you guys, if ETH blows this region, okay, anything is on here, okay? ETH can rip 3.5, 4,000. If the market turns bullish, don't think they're going to leave ETH behind, okay? ETH is going to play catch up at some point. So interesting to me, 50-day MA has been reclaimed. Here's our 200-day. Bitcoin's already hit the 200-day. Remember, when the market was dumping a few months back, I said to you, Bitcoin has dumped into the 200-day, but ETH hasn't yet. We're waiting. What did it do? It came back, hit the 200-day MA. Now we're going back up, okay? So 200-day MA is also one of the targets now for ETH that we're going to watch. We saw Phantom hit that already. We saw tons of other alts hit that 200-day MA. That, for me, is a target in play here that I would like to see sooner than later. Okay, so ETH is looking good. Key support, 2,432. Nice little region over there. Any pullbacks, I want to see that hold naturally for my trade. Don't want to get rinsed, okay? My average entry, 2,395. So I'm backing this 2,432 to hold on any pullbacks here. If we do push up 2.8 to 2.9, nice little zone there for ETH traders. If that thing breaks, guys, new trades from there on the retest. Big trades coming on any breaks of that region. So right now, all systems go on ETH. Now, we're talking about, we saw Tower, okay? Everyone's crying if you missed Tower and some of the other AI plays, but what do you want to do? You can also chase the hot ones. I've prepared a couple of AI plays for you on lower time frame scalper setups. They teed up, ready to go. But what about things like Lido? What is going to happen with Lido if ETH starts ripping? Okay, this is Lido on the weekly. We've spoken about this one before. Here's a weekly chart. There's a little bit of trend pressure right now for Lido. You can see just like ETH, it's reclaimed the 50-day moving average, okay? So I've bought Lido spot, okay? What I'm looking at now is a potential Lido leverage entry. We need to hunt. We want to get a piece of this Lido. We want to send Lido higher. You can see this current move right now is leading into that current trend. So this trend over here, that big weekly trend that you can see there on Lido, if we zoom in on the 1 hour, that is sitting in this region, okay? If we start blowing through that area for me, then there's a proper trade on here for Lido. There's a potential leverage trade coming. So flicking back, look at the weekly key support, 50-day moving average, 1.06. Where's that? That is this level down here, 1.06. And we're looking for this pop above. Okay, so spot traders, easy game. You can see your exit zone, 1.06, close under there or lower, then this thing's going to hell. Right now, leverage traders, you looking for some kind of entry. Now, how do we get that? Okay, if you're jumping in here on leverage, let me just show you guys, there is an element of risk. So if you're jumping in here right now, for example, your first risk is 4.3%. Okay, not great if you're trading big leverage. Your next risk is 6.3%, and your ultimate risk is about 8%. So right now, I've got Lido spot. I'm hunting for a leverage entry, but how are we going to do that? So we got to be smart about this play here, and we got to play it safe. So what I would suggest, what we're looking for, we want to see a clean break of these horizontals. That is going to tie in with that break of trend. Once we can confirm some kind of support at the old resistance, that for me is going to be that long on Lido that you are looking at. That is going to be your safest leverage play on Lido. Remember, the whole point here on leverage is we're trying to protect our capital. We're trying to protect risk. We're trying to minimize risk as much as possible. That is why we start hunting super tight entries, and that is why we like to get the lowest risk entries. We want to see stops no more than say 2 or 3%, something along those lines if you're trading big leverage. So you got to let this thing play out a little bit, look for some consolidation, but ultimately you guys know the drill. If you've been watching the show long enough, you get these pops of these highs, then you get that retest. That retest is going to be for buying, okay? You're looking for that one, and then naturally if the retest fails, that trade gets invalidated, and then you're waiting for the move lower. You're waiting for the trend, or you're waiting for some lower levels, lower down, and then you can give it a crack later on. Okay, so Lido for me, bigger picture play, looks good. If ETH turns the heat up here, Lido should start moving along with it. Then another one, look at this trend pressure, ENS. okay, looking very similar. Reclaimed the 50-day MA, just like ETH. Now, we've seen in the past, ENS can absolutely rip when the market loves ETH. If ETH starts breaking trends and horizontals, what's going to happen here with ENS? I suspect some major pumpage, and we can see the 200-day MA is well above us here, and looking for a simple push into that 200-day MA, anything like that. And then we've got some massive targets here for us. So ENS on the daily looking good. Okay, current support on the daily. This is for spot traders. 18 is what you're going to be watching. Leverage traders, same story. Okay, very similar story to Lido. You can see that trend that we are looking at on the daily is this region over here. Okay, so it's a very simple game plan that you guys are looking for. You want to see this push into that zone. We want to confirm this region as support. Then we get some kind of send here. We get some kind of leverage play. If the market turns back, where's our leverage entry? 17.7. That is what I'm going to be watching for potential leverage play. So it's going to look something along these lines. If we do get this pullback, something like that. Okay, you're going to have about a 2% stop, give or take, and you're going to target that 200-day moving average. And then otherwise, if we do pop higher, you're looking at something along these lines. So we got to break that region there. We want to confirm support first. Okay, just be patient with it. If you can see it start breaking, you can maybe ladder in a little small size, but really the real test is that confirmation buy when it comes back to you and retest that support. And then your target is going to be your 200-day moving average. That is going to be step number one that you guys are going to be watching for. So ENS, Lido, and ETH, what a nice little trio. Then I've got a couple of other plays here as well. Let's not forget Pepe. Look at this. ETH has reclaimed the 50-day MA. And now we are breaking trend here for Pepe as well. Reclaim the 50-day MA as well. So on the daily time frame, you can see Pepe looking good. We've got a trend break. We've got our big support. So these are all ETH strength plays. If ETH is going to rip, these are the types of tokens you want to be looking at. And big support for me on Pepe, 775. That is a big zone now that you're going to be watching. So let's dial in a little bit and take a look at that. And you can see we've got some consolidation in this region. Chris, I've got BNB here. Are you telling me that we're a little bit late? Should we be longing the shit out of this one? I was just about to talk about BNB in a couple of minutes.
It's flying. It's flying.
Oh, no.
The entry was in the morning, man. It was Asia.
Okay, we're going to deal with BNB. Guys, stick around, okay? Because I got BNB. CZ's getting released in 6 days, okay? Whether he's going to be involved in crypto, that's another debate. I doubt he's going to be involved in crypto because he got in so much trouble. So if he's tweeting crypto things, not a great idea. But I think the market as a whole, the degens, are going to want to trade BNB into his release or on his release. I just think there's a trade here on BNB. So that is why I've prepared it for you guys. Okay, let's finish Pepe. And you can see what's going on. This is Pepe on the 1 hour. We are looking at a little bit of consolidation here. And, it's playing the game in this region at the moment. What do we really want? I really want to see any type of move here into this type of level here, the 7676, which ties in with our support here that we do have on the spot at 769. That is a nice little region. Otherwise, we do need to wait for this thing to start breaking some highs. You can see every time we've attempted these highs here, it's been rejected. Okay, so a little bit of caution in this region. You can see there's a big resistance band up here.
Hold on. I think we need to be a little bit cautious with the alpha because they don't have a chance to smash the light. So
okay,
smash the light now. Smash the light, guys, so we can continue, please.
Can I come back? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so just to close on Pepe, you guys know I love this thing. Okay, this is a ripper. It's going to be a ripper on ETH strength as well. Watch this one closely. I like it lower down. Alternatively, just like we looked at Lido and ENS, similar situation. You can even bang out a trend here, something along those lines if you're looking for a breakout type play. And these breakout type plays are quite, they're pretty basic to get around. Okay, so typically what you want to do, if these things do break out, you're going to look for something along these lines. Okay, you get a situation like this. Let's say it pops this type of region. You typically get a retest. What you're going to do when you play that breakout, your first zone, you're going to bang a stop under that low that it broke out of the breakout. Once it pushes nice and high and retest, you're going to just move your stop under that retest zone. Okay, so very simple game plan here on breakouts. And remember, the breakout gives you your ticket into the next zone. So you're going to then target 84, 85, and then we're going to look a little bit higher. Okay, so simple game plan here, but this takes screen time. Okay, so spot buyers, you know the drill. Okay, you've got the ENS, Lido, Pepe dailies and weekly charts. You know what to do. You know your big levels, degens. Okay, you need to have screen time here if you're going to trade some breakouts. Very simple game plan here on these breakouts, and just raise your stops as you go. Just de-risk a little bit there, and just like Ray.
We need to look at BNB, bro. This thing is
no, man. Fuck. Okay, so CZ's getting released. Okay, in 7 days. Oh, okay. So we going blind here. We're going blind.
I don't know.
So we're going blind. Come, let's go blind. Let's go blind. I wanted to trade this thing earlier. It's going blind, yeah. Oh no, this thing's ripping. This thing's ripping.
No, I wouldn't suggest it. It's ripping.
No, it's a terrible idea. I'm taking a small position here. There we go. We're going in blind. Okay.
I mean, your stop is 592.10.
Okay, we're going to look at it now. Okay, so that is covered. Okay, one more for you guys. Pepe coin. There's a lot of news about this thing at the moment for this Pepe coin getting listed on Coinbase potentially. It's a dark horse. Okay, it's a small cap, and I mean this is a proper high risk play. Okay, so Pepe coin. I've got some spot on this situation. You can see. I mean, it's an interesting looking chart. You can see there's a lot of pressure here at the moment. And I mean, interesting zone. Okay, so interesting area here, Pepe coin. You can see there's a bit of pressure. This is a spot buy for me. This, it's a little bit of spot. See what happens on this thing. And right now, it has broken the 200-day MA, so that is a good start for us at the moment. That is support that you can watch. Pepe coin 3.4, and now we're targeting higher levels. What are we targeting, Pepe coin? We got some nice regions up here. Now, this is also an ETH play. Okay, so 4.4, interesting one. Now remember, there's a difference between the Pepe I just showed you and this degen version of Pepe coin. Okay, they're two different, absolute different projects here. So looking for something higher there at 4.3 to 4.5, that type of region. Okay, so there's Paul saying Pepe coin. Okay, so you got something there. I've got spotted this thing. Let it play out. Okay, I don't have an exit plan. I just bought spot. Let's see how this thing goes. Okay, let's look at some of the traditional tokens here. Solana, we had a great Sol conference. Looked good. There was a bit of pumpage on Sol. You can see, gave us a nice candle. Now, what do we want to do? We just want to make sure that we get nice support buys here on Sol. If the market remains bullish, I expect Sol to continue the rippage. Okay, how do we go about this Sol? You can see pretty quiet at the moment. Okay, there's attention on AI tokens, things like that. So for me, Sol 140, buy number 1. Okay, 136, buy number 2. Alternatively, it's going to look something like this. You can start laddering in around about this one, just above 140 and down to about 136. Now, naturally, we're going to target higher levels than 162. But for now, this is what we need. You can see that 200-day MA has come into play here. On Sol, the 200-day MA is 154. We've just tapped underneath it again. I'd like to see another visit here, but it's as simple as this. If the market's going to remain bullish, Sol will do its thing. Okay, Sol will play the game, and I'm still sitting in that Sol position that I've been in for the last 2 weeks, and 140 is where it's at for me. 136. Both of these are buy zones or accumulation areas or degens. Your high leverage play 140. Okay, you start losing that, your next high leverage play, 136. So pretty simple Solana game plan here. And bigger picture, this thing has broken trend. Okay, so looking okay. It's looking bullish. It's looking good. So anything down to that type of region on Sol looks decent. Let's just update the ZoomX comp. So guys, we've got 63 members. We're absolutely smashing it in the ZoomX comp. We're coming 6th at the moment. So DDH, I actually spoke to this guy yesterday. He's in Sniper Club. He was trading degen meme coins. I think he was trading Moo or Mother or one of these weird meme coins that he absolutely smashed it on. And there's FJ the second, also another Sniper Club member there. And things are ticking over nicely. So ZoomX competition is going well. And there's still a day left. Let's see. Maybe they've ended it. Okay. Okay. We'll have to find out exactly. Wait, let's see. Oh, 3 days left. 3 days left. Okay. So join me. Remember, the guys that sign up on my link, this is a P&L competition. It's not a volume competition. So the guys that are signed up exclusively on my link, ZoomX have been kind enough to offer you $1,000 for the first prize for the leader in my team. $600 for number 2, $400 for number 3. Okay. And you can see who you are competing against at the moment. The lead is 237% up. And, I am 28% up at the moment, coming 12th. Okay. So that is your target. You want to be beating this 237%. Remember, it's one leverage trade away from a massive pump. So all you need to do is go into the show description here at the bottom, and you can see my entire shopping list is here, from Sniper Club to all the exchanges I use and all the indicators that I use. You can even buy a ledger. You can even buy a ledger in the show description there. Don't forget, we partnered with Ledger. They're offering you guys a special deal here if you sign up with this the Ledger link in the show description as well. So there's lots happening here in my shop. Okay, the little shop underneath. Okay, so let's talk Phantom. And again, Phantom's quiet, AVAX is quiet, Sol is quiet. They did all their work last week. Now it's time for another narrative. AI is going to shine. Maybe ETH is going to come back and get a little bit more exciting for us. So just an update for Phantom traders. Okay, I've broken this down on the 4-hour for you guys. You can see the 200-day MA once again come into play on these altcoins. That is why we keep saying that this is now a target for a lot of these other alts. Right now, there's no trade for me on Phantom. Okay, I wanted to do something. It must either dump or it must pump. So if it does dump, I'm looking at 582 and I'm looking at 544. Okay, 582, 544. These are hot zones that I'd be watching on Phantom on any pullbacks. Okay, and reasonable pullbacks. Alternatively, Phantom traders, you want to start printing new highs. You want to play the breakout here on this type of thing, because there is this candle up here that can be dealt with. Okay, there's a lot going on up here, up to this 80 region. So, it's not off the table at the moment. But for me, I want this thing a little bit lower. Okay, let it play out, let it do its thing. But big support down there. You can mark those levels. Okay, and let's look at some of the trades that I'm in. I can't believe this BNB, right? Fuck. I wanted to take this trade earlier.
Asia's pumping the market these days.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you can see I'm in render. Okay, I took a render scalp. I've taken a ton scalp. That was a pure easy algo play. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how I took that ton play using easy algo. It's not really my trading style, and I'm going to explain it quite clearly for you guys in a minute. Then I still got BMEX. Okay, that thing's starting to move. Injective starting to look good, and dupe, I've cut half that dupe position. Okay, I just wanted to de-risk a little bit, so I've still got you can see realized P&L there, 3183 that I've closed already on this dupe. So yeah, that is my current WEX situation. And let's talk about some of these trades that I'm in at the moment. So TON, keeping it super simple. Okay, if you look at my regular TA play that I'm looking for on TON, what can we see here? We can see a bullish flag here forming at the moment. Then we can see my 382 support and my 618 support towards the bottom. Okay, this is my traditional TA stuff. Then last night we were playing around with pivots using easy algo and things like that. And I could see earlier today that TON was floating around the tight, newly printed weekly pivot. Okay, so simple little scalp for me in this region. That is where I jumped into TON when we started floating around this weekly pivot over here. And now we've got a breakout. Okay, so very simple game plan. My stop loss is going to be under the tight weekly pivot. Remember, a tight weekly pivot often means we get a nice big move. We don't know which way. Could be up, could be down. And, right now you can see we are pushing to the upside. So the stop is under the weekly pivot. So ideally, it's a close under the weekly pivot. You don't really want to be chopped out for no reason. But if you use easy algo and it's your thing and you like it, well, they do give their own type of trade setup. So this was a typical easy algo scalp that I took, and then naturally this TON can turn into something way more fun if we do start breaking the 50-day MA. So that is still a big problem for me. So there would be a more traditional trade for me if we do break that 50-day MA on that retest. There's a more sort of traditional Lord of Entry setup if we do get a break up there, that type of level. Okay, so right now I'm in an easy algo scalpers situation on that at the moment. Okay, let's talk AI. Now this has been a big one. Okay, now I mean this tower is actually insane. And remember the hype around tower when it was pushing 700. And it's not too long ago. I mean, it feels like ages ago. We went through so much pain with this thing. It went back to 170, but it's pushed up to 700. No reason why it can't go back there. And it's the flavor of Twitter. Wherever you look on Twitter now, everybody's talking about this. And we had 𝗦𝗡𝗟𝗦𝗟 talking about it at Token 49. I believe he made a few comments regarding it. So is there a trade for me right now on 𝗬𝗟? No. Okay, there's no reasonable position that I can see at the moment. Right now, it is interesting. We are rejecting at the 618. But what I can suggest is the minute we get some kind of relief pullback on some of these altcoins, you can see that 𝗬𝗟 is a strong mover. So naturally, you kind of want to go to the super strong tokens. If we get a nice flush out on the market, you want to grab things like this 𝗬𝗟. You want to grab things like NEAR that's ripping today, Render as well. Nice little movers here. And what I want to give you guys for 𝗬𝗟 is a couple of support regions. Okay, you're going to need to mark this on your chart. And if we do have a flush out in the market, you better make sure that this chart is in front of you, or these levels are in front of you. So level number 1, support buys, 490 for 𝗬𝗟. So anything dipping into that type of region could be a buy. Then a little bit lower down, 422. That looks like a hot zone for me as well. 422, that looks pretty good. And I don't want to never say never, because you never say never in crypto, but 360, okay? Maybe not right now, but 360 is the level, okay? Yes, sir.
I wanted to say thank you for the likes, everybody. And secondly, let's check out that poll. It's very interesting.
Oh, yes. Yes, guys, I'm running a poll. Okay, I'm running a poll. Let's look at this poll. Are we due a pullback? Yes. Is Max Payne up 35%? Ray, I guess we're sending it higher. Basically, the way these polls work, and they're surprisingly accurate if you get people talking about them. I mean, only 740 votes, so maybe put a few more votes in here for me. But, if everybody agrees in one way, then maybe it goes the other way. So just something to think about at the moment. And 65% of you are saying we need a pullback. So let's see. Okay, so only 35% are saying it goes higher. Okay, let's talk. So 𝗬𝗟, you covered. You've got your pullback zones. Okay, if you leverage into this now, okay, you're at risk. I just want to tell you, you are at risk. So naturally, yes, it could go up, and you could be the smartest trader in the room. Okay, if it goes up. If not, your first risk is 9%. Imagine you're on 10x at 9%. That's a 90% loss. Your next risk is 20%. Okay, if you're on 10x, 20%, that's 200% loss. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is just protect your risk. Okay, so 𝗬𝗟, yes, fundamentally could be amazing. Everyone's talking about it on Twitter. If you're trading leverage and they want to flush you out, 10 and 20%, that is your current risk if you are jumping in here at the moment from your solid zones. Okay, so just trying to protect you guys. And, we got a long way to go. Okay, it's a bull run here. Let's not get flushed out in a bull market. That's awkward. Okay, let's not be awkward. Let's sort this shit out. Okay, so Render, another banger here for me on the 12-hour. And you can see we've got an upside target for Render, 6.55. Watching this region, 6.55. That's a hot zone there for us. So there's not much left in the tank for Render as far as EPs are concerned. We're gonna deal with it when it's higher up. Okay, when we do get consolidation up there, we can play that break again. Okay, and we can look for a bigger push, or ultimately we're going to look for some kind of pullback on Render. So right now, Render traders, your main support 5.82, 5.56. These are your hot zones to the downside that you want to keep your eyes on if there is a pullback. Now, I'm not saying there is going to be a pullback, but if there is one, 5.8 and 5.56, and a very similar game plan. You're looking for these breakouts. Now, I'm going to give you a breakout example on GRT. Okay, because this one is teeing up very nicely at the moment. And this is a classic example for you guys on how you can look for a breakout into the next zone. So remember, my favorite trades are always the ones where we're bleeding out onto big support levels. We've had a couple of red days. Everyone's feeling bearish. It hits my zones. That's where we strike, okay? The next type of trade you get is after a pump into a resistance band. If there is going to be continuation in the market, you typically get a breakout in those types of regions. So let's look at GRT on the daily first, just to get a picture as to where we are. And you can see on the daily, GRT is pushing into a resistance band. So I've drawn a little picture here for you guys, looking for consolidation under this 0.1816 zone. Okay, this is first prize. Okay, that gives us the ticket into the 0.22 region. That is going to be our next big TP zone. Okay, that is a massive area for us. And our ticket there is a 15-minute or a 1-hour candle breakout to the upside. Okay, so let's deal with that now and make an assumption here. Is this thing going to break out higher? So very simple game plan. Here's GRT right now on the 1-hour chart. And you can see it's consolidating in this region. We do have some horizontals at play at the moment. So what you can do is look for any weakness in this type of zone. You can try and accumulate little buys, any dips into this range. And then if we do break higher, okay, typical move here, you're going to play that breakout. And then you're going to look for that retest. And you can add to your position there, and then you're going to send it higher. So right now, you're watching support here on GRT. Watch this area. Okay, so watch is 0.171. Watch that zone. Okay, any dips into that zone, you can sniff around here. Remember, this is a risky play because bigger picture, we're sitting at resistance. Okay, but now the degens out there do want to catch breakouts. They want to ride it into the next zone. So that is typically the best way that you're going to do that. So look for buys 0.171. If you start closing under these types of levels, look at this liquidity here. They'll come and wipe this out super quickly. Okay, so remember, exercise caution. When you get that breakout, that is normally going to be safer than overloading yourself at these lows. Okay, so sniff around in these lows. Just fiddle around, okay? Every time it goes up a little bit, comes back down, you can buy a little bit there. When it breaks out, okay, then you can add to your position. It's going to raise your average entry, and then you can bring your stop under that breakout candle. So eventually, when it does break out, you're going to get a nice strong breakout candle. You can bring your stop under that breakout candle. Then you're going to look for that ticket into the next zone. So it looks like quite a big area at play here for GRT. Looks like we've got about another 25%. So if you get this one right, on leverage, could be a nice little rewarding play here for GRT. So just be cautious here. You know what to do, okay? These breakout trades, they do get a little bit spicy, but they are doable, okay? So just play it safe. Bigger picture, we are at resistance. And then if this thing does roll over, okay, bigger picture for me on the daily, okay, this is going to be horrible. We're going to be shouting at the kids. We're going to be grumpy. 0.146. Okay, that's massive support for GRT. If it goes there, the market is looking horrific. BTC is probably at that 58 level, maybe even lower, things like that. So, but it is possible. Okay, if you look at the chart, and then on lower time frame and any medium-sized sort of pullbacks on BTC, you're looking at 0.157. Okay, that is your next sort of decent-ish area that you're going to be watching. So naturally, you've got the trend that can play, but I would say that is a big zone for me, 0.157. So GRT, you've got the game plan there. And then let's talk. Are we finally woken up from its slumber? And now this thing could turn a little bit more bullish for us. So we can see I've got an easy algo. Let me just make sure it's the right one. Yeah, I've got my easy algo weekly pivot. So we noticed this last night on the live Sniper Club session. We were looking at some weekly pivots, and look at that. Look at that tight little weekly that printed here on Arweave. Look at that thing, okay? And like I explained before, the tight weekly pivots, they generally give you quite a bullish or bearish move, but it's quite a big one. It's quite a, what do we call it? Explosive. Okay, and you can see right at trend here, we had a very tight weekly pivot, and that has now sent Arweave. Okay, so typical tight pivot move here, this time to the upside. Okay, lovely. And now Arweave, we're looking at a couple of targets to the upside. So we've had a nice break of these horizontals. Now it's all about this retest. So we really want to hold the 50-day MA. So I would say if we can hold 21.3 on Arweave, then we should start pushing to our next zone. Our next zone is going to be this 24.6 region. That is what we're going to be targeting. So good start here for Arweave. 50-day MA has been broken, and liking the look of that. And let's just take a look out of, not coincidence, but out of curiosity. Look how far that 200-day MA is. Phantoms tapped it. Bitcoin's tapped it. ETH wants to tap it. We've got tons of others. This 200-day MA is now becoming the new target, okay? The 50-day MA is being dealt with. Now it's the 200-day MA, and that is sitting at 30.6, okay? So spot bag traders, you good, okay? You guys are chilled, and leverage traders, well, you're going to need to start playing these breakout games, and let's see if I've got... Yes, here it is. Okay, so here was the Arweave breakout from earlier today. So this is Arweave on the 15 minutes, and like I've explained to you guys on GRT, this is typically what you're looking at. So this is a nice example that we can use. If you remember that GRT chart that I've just shown you, you've got something along these lines on GRT. What happens here? We get the break. Okay, now we're looking for this retest. We need this retest to hold here. And that for me then gives you that nice confirmation. That gives you that buy on something like Arweave here. Then you can push it to your next target level. So this is a typical breakout play. Let's see if this retest holds now on these horizontals. Then we're looking for that next push. So horizontals, 21.8. Look for that to hold. And I'm sitting in this one on Bitfunded at the moment and looking for to close out this phase 2. Okay, so this is $100 up at the moment. My stop is just above my entry. Okay, I played that breakout there on Arweave and Bitfunded. Remember the deal with Bitfunded? You get 2 phases. Stage 1, you need 8% to pass stage 1. Then you get 5% stage 2. Then they give you actual money that you trade with. It's their money. You're trading with their money. Simple game plan here. You send $49 or you send $99. You get a 5K or 10K demo account. Show them you can trade 8%, 5%, then you use their money. You keep 80 to 90% of the profits. As simple as that. And we are in constant contact with the Bitfunded guys. They are trying to make an amazing platform for you. And I actually saw some of them at Token 49. We saw them in Singapore, and they are starting to iron out any types of issues that you may have come across. So things are working nicely on Bitfunded, and the link is in the description. There's a simple link that you click. It's one link now. There used to be 2 links. And no, I see it's still 2 links at the moment. Okay, so go into Bitfunded, register for the challenge, then go back to the second link, click on Bitfunded Dylan, start the challenge. Okay, the instructions are here for you guys. It's pretty simple, simple explanation. And okay, let's talk Sundog. And are we pulling back? Yo, we're pulling back finally. I'm jumping back in soon. Guys, let's see. Okay, you got the levels, and we're going to see how this goes. Okay, let's see. Sundog. Okay, I'm still sitting in the Sundog. Okay, waiting for pumpage. And it's just hit 500,000 holders. Okay, I mean, is that good? Maybe. It's a Tron meme coin. Okay, so, you know, I'm sitting in Sundog. There's rumors of a Binance listing, things like that. Let's see how it goes. Here's Sundog at the moment and still playing the game. Okay, so we've got our support levels intact at 0.286. That zone, okay, that is our support we're watching. And right now, let it do its thing. Okay, so 0.286. Watch that area for me. That is what my eyes are locked in on. A little bit lower down, naturally, 265. That's an interesting zone. So mark these levels on your chart. At some point, this thing pumps again. Okay, we'll see. Okay, CZ, am I getting rinsed here? No. Okay, fuck, that was a high risk trade. Okay, so what I'm going to do here on BNB. So you guys, you got my explanation for the trade. He's getting released on Saturday. Okay, so I think the market might trade it. There might be pumpage here and BNB related coins. Don't forget, Floki is actually a BNB chain meme coin. Okay, so maybe Floki could be one of the game plans for you guys. But BNB, you know, this is a nice performer and it could be a mover. So what are we looking at here? So BNB, you can see we are trying to break these horizontals at the moment. And pretty simple game plan. You've got your next target is going to be 635. So ideally, push into that. Some kind of consolidation and retest in that zone. Okay, looking for something along these lines. So I think there is a trade here on BNB and target 635. Then we're going to target 720. Okay, so we'll keep it short and sweet. And I don't want to speculate after that. So 720 might be a nice short zone as well. And yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Okay, so CZ. Let's see if he's going to pump our BNB bags. Okay, guys, remember, leave the tokens you want in the comments after the show. And what does Ray say? Refresh? What? Refresh the show, Ray? What did you say?
Oh, yeah. Refresh the show and drop your comments, please. Refresh this page.
There you go. Okay. Refresh the page and then drop your comment after the show. Ray will compile the tokens. If they tie in with what I'm working on for tomorrow, we'll do them. And if there's other bangers in there, we'll do them. Okay, so I want to just cover you guys as much as possible in the short time that we have together. And if you want more time with me, join Sniper Club. There's links in the show description. I drop updates all the time. I drop setups I'm watching or things like that. I hang out in the chats. We have tons of fun in there. Okay, guys. Later. See you tomorrow.